Good morning. For the record, my name is Erin Murphy, at-large City Councilor, and I am the Chair of the Boston City Council Committee on Strong Women, Families, and Communities. Today is February 25th, 2025, and it is 10:03 a.m. This hearing is being recorded. It is also being live-streamed at boston.gov/city-council-tv and broadcast on Xfinity Channel 8, RCN Channel 82, and FiOS Channel 964. Written comments may be sent to the committee email at ccc.swfc@boston.gov and will be made part of the record and available to all councilors. Public testimony will be taken at the end of this hearing. Individuals will be called on in the order in which they signed up and will have 2 minutes to testify. If you're interested in testifying in person, please add your name to the sign-up sheet near the entrance of the chamber. If you are looking to testify virtually, please email our Central Staff Liaison, Cora Montrond, at cora.montrond, MONTROND, @boston.gov for the link, and your name will be added to the list. Today's hearing is on docket 0268, order for a hearing to address the plans underway to do facilities work this summer at several of our buildings that may impact services that we provide. This matter was sponsored by Councilor Murphy and Councilor Flynn and was referred to the committee on January 15th, 2025. Today, I am here alone. My co-sponsor, Councilor Flynn, is in DC advocating for funding for our veterans with Congressman Lynch. So he is sorry he is not here, but he is here in spirit. I want to introduce the panel today. We have Brian Ford, Executive Director of the Boston Public Schools Facility Department. I know it's not, that was your old title, huh?
Chief Operating Officer.
Thank you. All right, when I read, I'm like, that's not who you are anymore. So thank you for correcting that. Roan McNulty is here as the Deputy Executive Director for Public Facilities Department for BPS. Thank you for being here. And Edward McGuire, Director of Operations for BCYF. So I do just want to start, thank you. The last 2 summers, we had a lot of much needed facility work at our schools across the city, which we know house many of our BCYF centers that offer summer programming, swimming, camps, and also the schools that had been impacted in the past for summer school, ESY, special ed services for our students that BPS offers also. So proactively wanting to make sure that if there were any changes or impacts that this may impact different facilities, neighborhoods across the city, that we had a hearing early enough to make sure that we could address that sooner than later so there'd be no interruptions. It seems as though all of our facilities work had been completed on the last 2 summers, or at least the facility work that we knew would be impacting a lot of our summer programming the last 2 summers. So looking forward to hearing from all of you on an update on that, and if there is any intervention or support we need to give to specific neighborhoods, specific facilities, then that information will be helpful from today. So I'll turn it right over to the panelists. You can speak in whatever order you would like.
You want to go first? Sure. Good morning, Council. Thank you for having me. My name is Brian Ford, Chief Operating Officer for Boston Public Schools. I just want to start by saying thank you for having us here today. And overall, in Boston Public Schools, every year we do close a number of buildings, all of which is at the impact of making sure that we're able to maintain our programming neighborhood-specific but not building-specific across the district. We work closely with BCYF, Property Management, and PFD to make sure that we are able to host as many of our programs across the district and make sure that those services that are legally obligated, such as those as 5th quarter and extended school year, are able to be maintained throughout the district to provide equity and opportunity for all the students in the district. This year, we will only have 17 of our buildings that are closed, all of which are widely spread throughout the Commonwealth. And so we should be able to continue to provide every level of programming. That programming is decided in April, once we're able to reach out to every school and community. This year, and BCYF can speak more, we will not have any impacts on the BCYF community centers, so all of those should be able to maintain their current programming. And while we have a couple of PFD projects that are going to be within our school buildings, we're making sure to relocate those to have the minimal impact so that programming can still happen in or around those spaces.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Ed McGuire, Director of Operations for BCYF. As Brian has alluded to, the work has been completed over the past 2 summers. We don't have any plans to be moving our sites such as like Lake Yarn was one of them, Orenburger, Quincy. Those were schools that were impacted with some of the work last year, and we anticipate that they'll be able to stay at their home-based locations and operate their programming as before. I will say for the past 2 years, in the beginning, finding out was a little scary, but we worked very closely with the BPS team and everything worked out great. The programming was never really impacted, and we were able to do that pretty seamlessly. I think people are excited to go back to their home base or stay there as they are currently there, but we anticipate a normal summer. So.
That's good to know. Any update from the work that we did complete? It was mostly HVAC, right? It wasn't connected to the pool repairs. That is an ongoing issue across the city. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Eddie and Brian, and thank you so much, Councilor, for having us here this morning. My name is Ron McNulty. I'm the Deputy Director of the city's Public Facilities Department, sitting in for our Executive Director, Carlton Jones, who's under the weather today. So thank you for having us. I want to echo what Brian and Ed were saying as well. We do have a number of capital projects underway, performing much-needed repairs in our facilities, schools, and community centers, but we work closely with those user agencies to ensure that there is no impact to their programming. When there are programs, for example, in our Renew Boston Trust program, where we have some things that take place, we schedule those to be taking place off hours so that they don't impact any operations during the day. So, and if there are any future concerns, we always work collaboratively with our partners in the various user agencies to mitigate any potential issues. So.
Thank you. Brian, you mentioned that there will be work done on 17 of the buildings. Are none of them connected to BCYF, or is the work not going to interfere the community center sides of those buildings?
So we have work happening at more than 17 locations. We have 17 locations which will be closed, none of which are BCYF cohabitated. Okay. We will be doing work at 54 unique sites this summer, all of which will not impact the operation of BCYF community centers or our overall programming.
Will any of it impact needing to shift placement for our BPS extended school year and special ed services?
I would say the answer is no. Our extended school year only choose from open sites that we have that are fitting the needs of the responsive communities.
Okay, and I think it's true, Eddie, is it true that the Orenburger will be able to bring back their Camp Joy?
They actually submitted their permits yesterday to be
Awesome.
Approved.
Okay.
Ms. Roberta, who runs that program, intends to be back at that location. I shared that information with Brian today. It seems that we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, and they're happy to go back, right?
They are, very
Okay.
much so, yeah. The fields out there, the Orenburger, and working in collaboration with Susan Young, who's the director at the site, as well as the school leaders, it's just a really good fit, and I think the families are excited to get back there. Yeah.
Awesome, okay. Any other concerns that we would want to know on the council to help advocate before the summer programming? Or it's April when we send out programming and applications for like summer camp and all? Is that the timing?
For BCYF, we are working right now to establish ours. We had a deadline last week for site directors to submit those, and we're aligning our budgets to ensure that it's currently happening now, so there are programs and stuff that are being released, but we're kind of in the approval process to ensure that everything is in line so that when, from recruiting lifeguards to actual summer, activities, that it's, by April, we will be good to go.
Do you know how many pools will be closed this summer?
We expect more pools open this summer than last.
Okay.
Where there's some work that's been done at Curtis Hall right now. We anticipate that the pool will be open late March, and then Draper Pool, which has been under construction for a period of time for a litany of issues, looks to be completed right around that same time frame. The outdoor pools at the Marabella as well as Clarity will be operational. We're feeling very good about our lifeguard recruitment right now. In conversations yesterday with DCR as we partnership to help make sure that the recruitment pool is strong and that the individuals that are obviously working those positions are trained and ready to go. The birds are going to be coming back to the Curly, but we're implementing the HCP permit, which is a federal permit to allow us to have access to the middle beach. So unlike years past, certain pools that have been down will be open with respect to the BCYF network, and yeah, we're looking forward to having them open.
Brian, you worded it, which I liked, but it's neighborhood specific, not site specific. Is your goal, are there any neighborhoods we're worried about? In the past few summers, there's definitely been community outcry that maybe their neighborhood didn't have any pool in nearby. Is there any neighborhood that may be affected that won't be able to rely on a Boston pool? I know many times there may be a YMCA, there may be a DCR pool, but not a Boston pool to access.
I know that I would say within the last year, we did have the South End community that was lacking access to a pool. We had the Josiah Quincy that was under construction, and the new JQUS that was also going up. And our the Quincy school did pass inspection last month, so we should have access to that pool, and our work is continuing to have, again, in line with BCYF, more pools open this summer than years prior.
And the Mason is up and
The Mason is up and running as well. There's been an assessment of pools throughout the BCYF network in partnership with property management. There's certain funds that will go to helping repair certain assets within those facilities. None of that work is anticipated to occur during the summer, which would impact our operation. So usually September is the month between the summer, it is the month between the summer and the fall, and that is kind of a time where there isn't a ton of programming. We're kind of rebuilding for the fall. We always try to aim to have essential work done usually in and around that time frame. And so when that work is scheduled, which would be certain pools like the Mason, Curtis Hall, and others, essential work, we'll keep everyone posted with those timelines, but there are no impacts for the summer.
good news. Do any of you have any other updates you would want to share or any closing remarks?
I mean, I think the BCYF is just excited and continues to work with BPS to make sure that, if it's aquatics or programming, that we work together to ensure that, the patrons have access to these facilities, and we can do our best to do it. I think with any facility, especially pools, things come up, and if something does come up, we will have a contingency plan of some kind. So, but yeah, we work closely. So I'm just happy that we're finally out of that 2-year window and we're able to kind of do what we've done in the past and service people.
This summer will be the first full summer that your property management oversees, correct?
Yeah, so this would be like the first full year. The partnership, I think it's been,
And
it seems like
started at like the end of the summer, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Gotcha.
so
Midway, okay.
it seems a little longer than that. I mean, they've been helping us with a ton of stuff.
And it's
but-
been helpful? That part?
huge,
Okay.
absolutely huge.
That's good.
Yeah, I think just having, the expertise of the property management department come in and take a look at our facilities as well as help us navigate, not only from vendors, but to truly understand the ins and outs of the building has been massive. And Commissioner has been fantastic in making sure that, we're allocated the time necessary to not only understand what exactly the issues are, but the process in order to get it fixed. And we've seen, with the onset of asset essentials and us actually tracking, from routine maintenance to gym floors to, making sure the lights are on. I couldn't ask for a better partnership.
That's good to know.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Anything else? No. I just want to thank you all for being here. Looking forward to a successful summer for our families, our kids across the city, and know that, the council definitely wants to support going forward. We know that there'll be more facility work needed on our buildings. Obviously, our schools need a lot of love. So just know that, these hearings are to make sure that we're ahead of it, and what we can do on the council to support is important. So thank you for being here. This hearing on docket 0268 is adjourned.